Okay, hi guys, so the cake you just saw right there, I'm going to show you how to make it because it's beautiful and I would love for all of you to try it at home, and it's very easy. So you go, okay, just make it and tell me how it is, and let's go for it. Yay. So for the cake you're going to need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2/3 cups of sugar, 3/4 cups of rolled oats, 1/3 cups of milk, 2 tablespoons cinnamon and 1 teaspoon salt, 1/4 cup of any flavorless oil, 2 large eggs, baking soda, baking powder, vanilla extract, 3 overripe bananas, a cake loaf tin, and finally you're going to need some parchment paper. Next, you're going to need a rough measurement of parchment paper, so you could line your cake tin with it. Just stir it and grease your cake tin well and put it inside, and make sure you cover all the sides so the cake does not stick to the cake tin. And just make sure you cover all the sides and put it inside the way I am doing, and that's it. Here I was fumbling, sorry. So once it's done, if it's messy, it's okay. If it's like mine, it's okay. Just make sure the batter doesn't go out of the paper. That's it. Okay, so now it's time to mash those bananas, and just take those bananas and put it in a big bowl so you can mash them, and make sure it's big enough so it's easier. And just take a fork like I did and start mashing them until you see a big gloop of bananas, and there you go. Mash them until they start to look somewhat like this. You'll get the consistency. So once you start seeing the bananas and they look like this, it's time to add the wet ingredients. So that is the oil, the milk, 2 eggs, and the vanilla essence. So the first thing you're going to add in is the oil, and once you add in the oil, just make sure you give it a quick whisk like I am doing. And there you go. So once it's a little bit incorporated, and yes, you guessed it right, the next thing that's going to go in is the milk, and just drop it in and give it a whisk again. So once you see a liquid mixture somewhat like this, it's time to get those eggs in, and just take them and plop them in, and you can break it on the rim just like I did. And go ahead and add the second one, and then give it a whisk again. So once you start seeing a banana soup, and forgive me for that example, but it's just what it looks like, you got to add in the vanilla extract, and that is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And make sure you smell that thing because oh my god, it smells so good. Time lapse. Okay, so once you're done with the wet ingredients, the next thing you gotta move on is onto the dry ingredients, which is obvious because there's no cake without it. So you have to take the all-purpose flour and add in the sugar, which is caster sugar, and it is a little bit more finer than normal sugar. So you just gotta add that in, and yeah, make sure you add it all in. And next you gotta add in the rolled oats, and you can also use quick oats, which we use for breakfast all the time, and just add that in. Next you gotta add the cinnamon and the salt, and the cinnamon, it adds a heap of flavor in the cake, so make sure you have cinnamon because it is amazing. And just plop that in. And next you gotta add the baking soda and the baking powder, the two most important things you need to make a cake, because the cake won't floof if you don't have those. Okay guys, so before you add in the dry ingredients into the wet mixture, make sure you give it a good mix, because you don't want to see different components of the dry mixture and you want to see it as a whole lump of the dry ingredients. So give it a whisk like I'm doing, and you're all good to go to add that into the wet mixture. And remember, always add the dry mixture in 2 batches. So just add the first half of the dry ingredient and give it a good mix, and you're good to go for the second half just in a while, and whisk it till then. Yeah, you guessed it right. So the next thing going in is the second half of the dry mixture. But before you do so, make sure that the first half is well incorporated, because, well, you do not want lumps in a perfect cake, do you? Okay, so if you don't, mix it well until you see a smooth batter. And hey, pro tip, work your way from the middle to the outside always. It helps, trust me. And can you believe it? Your batter is done. And the next thing you have to do is add it into your lined cake mold. And use a spatula while doing so, because if you drop the batter on the sides, it can, just like I did, it can burn or it can get overcooked. So have some patience and do it slowly. It'll help you. Okay, so now you have to bake this beautiful thing for 55 minutes in a 180 degrees preheated oven. Okay, or you can also do the toothpick test, which I'll show you in a while, and you're good to go. Plop it in. Yeah, and you can see me plopping it in, and just make sure you keep it horizontally because it'll evenly spread the heat, and close the oven. So for the toothpick test that I mentioned earlier, just take a toothpick and insert it into the cake and take it out. And if you see some raw batter on the edge of the toothpick, it's not cooked. But if you see a clean one just like this, it's cooked. And there you have it, guys, a banana cake fully made from scratch. And if you do make this cake, please send me all the photos, tag me on all the posts, and as everyone says, please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel because it would mean a lot to me. And thank you for watching this video.